All right, here. So you didn't hear me at all, but I've got a few people checking this out. So I'm gonna start all over. Today I'm gonna talk about nano practicing, and no, this is not one of my solo-based live jams. It's not mission-based live, which is going to happen on the last Saturday of every month, inviting a guest, also solo bassist. We share our music, our stories, and our approach to practicing bass, to writing songs, etc. etc. This month's guest, Omar Harp. We're going to get some oriental flair into the solo bass world. So I'm really looking forward to that one. But to cut a long story short, today we're going to talk about perfect practice, in particular warm-up. And warm-up means doing something that prepares you to what you want to do in the actual practicing time. Obviously, you can do all kinds of warm-ups just to get your body in shape, your mind in the right mindset, but we're going to skip all of that. That's too deep for this one. Today we're going to talk about nano practicing, which is minimizing the material that you pay attention to. And how can you do that? There's actually one way you can play any song that's ever been written in the world right now, no matter how much experience you have on your instrument. And the way to do that is to just slow it down until it's slow enough for you to play. Even if that means 1/16th note every day, you're still playing it, right? So nano practicing kind of takes advantage of that concept, and it's all about slowing your movements down so much that you don't stand a chance, but paying 100% attention to every tiny little movement. And it's the best way to clean up your technique. So yesterday I actually already went into deep practice, did a lot of jumping back and forth. I changed the finger ring when I found out, oh damn, at this speed, even if it sounds a bit less how I want it to sound, it's actually way easier to play. So I had to correct before I deeply automated it. So the riff is the following. Just gonna play it for you one time. So that's the whole thing. And if you think this is slow, this is way too fast for nano practicing. So today I actually want to focus on the second half, because yesterday I did the first half. But just to get into the jive, I'm going to play the whole riff really, really slow without a metronome. Rhythm tempo is not that important. I can play completely out of rhythm in the nano practicing part. There's actually a nice saying, and that came from a classical school, which I don't remember where it is or what the name is, but it was, when someone passes by your practicing room and he can recognize the song you're playing, you're practicing too fast. So let's see if I can turn it down that slow, because that is a challenge in itself, having the patience to go through the movements that slowly. So okay, so see, just because I played that slowly, could be played even slower, but I already noticed, here's a little thing I might have to pay attention to. So when I go from, got some open strings ringing, Actually, let me give you fixed the microphone. You should be, yes, you can hear me now too. So just so you get a little bit of close up. So what I'm actually paying attention to now, apart from just playing it correctly, is how far are my fingers, or the opposite, how close to the fretboard can I keep my fingers. And if I do that often enough, really slowly, it actually automates and translates to playing it really fast. Okay, so maybe you can let me know. Did you notice something, an inconsistency that I just noticed with this repetition? I'm going to play the two versions and you let me know what was the difference. And version number 2. Any ideas? What was different? Actually, see if I can get the comments here, because my screen is all the way over there on my desk, which is far, far away. All right. So I hope this way I can see your comments popping in. Just a moment. Oh God. Don't do this to me. Okay, anyway. So, if you haven't noticed the difference, it's one finger. The difference, which I'm not consistent in, and that is very important to notice before you speed up the whole riff. That sometimes on the D string I use the thumb to play a single note. The chords I generally play with the thumb on the D string. And by the way, D, G, C, no B string on this 5 string. And other times I actually stick with alternate or economy picking. So I really have to make a decision here, and maybe that decision needs to be made speeding the whole thing up. So let's see what happens. I think it sounds nice over the fingers, more consistent. And it's nice to play with the raking those 3 notes in one go. Okay, so one more round. I'm gonna nail that fingering this time, and a couple of minutes we're gonna take it up a notch and start introducing a timekeeper. Okay, let's see if I can clean up this transition from So yeah, this part is another open string problem, and I'm gonna have to compromise, because if I keep rest my thumb on the E string, so because the moment I take it off, it's always gonna make the E string vibrate a little bit. So I'm just gonna shift, and I'm gonna get this scratchy sliding sound. Which I think is totally fine, especially in the context. So, a couple more rounds. So one last thing maybe that's important to mention about nano practicing. I will always sacrifice timing and rhythm for my technique. So, for example, sometimes you can anticipate that the next shift is not going to work out, so you just take extra time, and for example, this part here, that's in time. Well, in nano practice, no problem to go, because it's all about the movement and the automation of this movement. The automation in time is a thing that we actually practice separately. So let me take off my headphones and get started. All right, I'm just gonna go back to this one. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Oh, by the way, Maruschik Instruments, check them out. They make this beautiful bass, and they make the strings that I play. 180, 60, 40, and here comes the kicker, 30 on the G string. I was always kind of bummed out by the sound of 6-string basses. Any that I tried in a shop, the C string just sounded like all of a sudden I was playing guitar, and it didn't blend in with the other 5. And apart from my fingers being too short to control that 6-string neck, that was one of the reasons why I hesitated to dive into the whole C-string thing. But later on I kind of played with the idea more and more. I strung up my mayonnaise with a C-string, and I kind of could make it work. But when I got this instrument built, particularly for my solo bass project, Adrian Maruschik told me, why don't you use a 30 C string? And oh my god, it's just... it really sounds like one and the same instrument, which I hardly ever know from any other C string. But that's just me rambling on. Back to the topic now. We're gonna get to playing time. Let's see, what tempo are we at here? Let me make this a bit more fun. Okay, so what tempo are we at? 122. Now fucking we. So yesterday I ended at 107, and a good rule of thumb is start the next session 20% slower than you ended the last session, and then obviously work your way up fast, but give yourself some time to get into it. Otherwise you start overwhelming yourself from the get-go and you just keep on dialing back and the whole session falls apart. You'll be depressed, you throw your bass at the wall, burn it, and never look at music again. That we don't want. So keep it in the comfort zone to start off. 20%, let's say 90 then. Just for fun. It's falling apart. Oh, la 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 la. Oh man. Whoa, how annoying. Can you hear the difference? So when I play like this, I get this beautiful harmonic up here the moment I lift. And on top of it, it's not in the key. So what I have to do is keep my index finger on the C string, so when I lift up my pinky, I don't get that harmonic. One thing, let me say this loud and clear, which I notice again and again, and then I keep forgetting about it again and again, and then I experience it again, and I'm like, Eureka! I have the secret single trick to make everything easier and faster. And then I forget about it again, but I just remembered or recognized, noticed again, that the moment we play something, or at least when I do it, but I'm pretty sure it's the same for you. When you play something with intention, it becomes so much easier and it sounds so much better. For some reason, I think the thought of really knowing how you want it to sound and putting that, I want to say emotion, but maybe let's just say energy behind it. I don't know, you can either rewind or... Okay, I'll just recap this. For the most part, I just played this riff like this. Well, okay, a little bit less messy. And then I try to enjoy it a little bit more, which made it sound like this. Yep. Now, apart from the little mistakes that are here and there, to me it's incredible how much more effective I play when I play with intention, when I know exactly what I want to hear. So try that out for yourselves. Let's get back to it. Okay, I'm gonna aim for 5 correct repetitions, and I'm gonna bump up the speed. It's getting a bit boring. Ah, that pinky, it's just too short. Damn it. Okay, I'm gonna do one thing. A little hack. Because one thing that you might have heard somewhere else before, there's this myth that playing fast is just playing slow, sped up. But unfortunately, that doesn't really resolve. So if you're just slowly progressing BPM by BPM, obviously depending on the end speed, if the end speed is 120 BPM, 8 notes, you can probably get by just increasing the tempo every 5 repetitions that you play perfectly. But if you want to go up to 140, 160, 180 with 16th notes, then at some point there's a switch in the muscles that you use. Because there's fast muscles and there's slow muscles. So just only playing slow and slowly increasing the speed will kind of... your arms and fingers will try to establish with the slow muscles what actually the fast muscles should do. And that's why sometimes in between you just gotta double up the speed, or just go, well, maybe not double up, because I'm only, how many? Well, I'm actually quite a few BPM back. Still got those to cover. But I'm just gonna turn it up, let's say 30 BPM. And already getting a bit closer to the original tempo. Obviously, you can only do that if you've done your nano practicing and memorized the piece completely, you've got all the fingering down, and it's really a matter of speed. Also, if you speed it up, choose a shorter section. Don't expect to play through the whole piece, the whole solo, the whole riff. Bumping up the speed 20-30%. Just start with 2 notes, add another one, add another one, add another one, until you get to 8 notes, and maybe that is it for now. And then you can back it up again, but now you don't go all the way down to the last tempo. Excuse me. But you actually only go about 2/3 back. But I'm not there yet. So, what was I gonna do? Actually, I'm gonna speed up even more and show you what I mean by that. So, I'm gonna go to original speed. And one advantage it has to even just play 2 notes at the original speed is the experience that you gain. And we now know, thanks to neuroscience, that little kids learn much faster by experience than by intellectual understanding. That changes a little bit with age, but often us grown-ups completely ignore the experience side of learning, and it's so powerful. So let me show you what I mean. Just 5 minutes ago I struggled with 90 BPM. Now I'm at 140, so that's more than 50% faster. Let's see how far I can get. I'm gonna play the first 4 notes of the part that I'm just practicing. No problem at all. See? And that's not just an experience that, oh wait, I can do it. It's your success. I'm gonna try to add the next 2 notes. I'm gonna try to add some expression and intent. Okay, that's it. Just a little excursion. Now I'm gonna take it down to 107, which was my last top speed from yesterday, not today. The last manageable tempo that I did was 90, so that's 17 BPM up from there. Let's see. Alright, there's yes. Now it's either time to play a bigger part of the riff or to speed up, but I'm in the mood for speeding up before I play the whole riff. I focused on first half yesterday, so I think I deserve it. Let's shoot for the stars, go up another 10 BPM to 117. I'm going to put this time a bit higher. Cable. I love this. It's the best. Oh, la la. So okay, I'm messing up too much for my liking, so there's no shame in just going down a little bit again. So I'm dialing back 5 BPM. I went up 10, now I'm going back 5. Because I want to stay in my Goldilocks zone, just on the edge of being overwhelmed, but not being overwhelmed. Because then I won't be... actually, I'm in eustress, not in, I don't know what the other stress is called. But there's good stress and there's bad stress. There's the good stress that makes you strive for more. And then there's the bad stress that just leaves you incapable of basically thinking straight. Literally, your prefrontal cortex is switched off and you're just back to your monkey brain. Emotional driven, which it's not very good if you want to learn. It's good for defense and running away. But that's almost about it. Okay, so the one thing that keeps happening, and probably it doesn't really matter how much slower I go, because I haven't automated it, I haven't put in enough nano practicing into that tiny little bit, is this is okay. Fix that, that works. And then when I play this one, especially if I play it fast, the bottom bit, actually you can see that here better, the bottom bit of my pinky is fretting the C string. I mean, it's better than this harmonic which doesn't fit in the key, but it's not what I want to hear. I want works out. Okay, so I'm getting to the end of my session and I want to take advantage and definitely play that riff. Definitely play that riff in its whole. So I'm gonna slow down again because I don't want to be demotivated by failing. I'm gonna go down to 100 and play the whole thing. This thing is a bit in the way. Okay. Shh. Keep breathing. And now I'm gonna go up to 120 and see if this can do something for me. God damn it, just get away. So yeah, hey, I mean, it's far from being perfect and where I eventually want it to be, but at the same time, I'm also quite happy, chuffed about how well it works at 120. That's only 20 more BPM until the original speed. Let's try out the original speed then, shall we? Just to get a measure of how much out of reach this actually is. Oh, okay, that second lick. That's still a very conscious knowledge. Oh. Oh god, no. Okay, that second one is impossible. I'm just gonna play through it. As long as I don't repeat it often enough, nothing will automate. Okay, and now I'm going to go back to 120 and end it there. Whoop. I'm gonna have to spend more time on that next session. I thought I had it nailed. Oh yeah, one benefit of going too fast for your current skill set, it becomes painfully obvious which part of the riff, solo, song you're playing are the hardest to play. Because often when we just keep in nano practice for too long, we don't see what are really the trouble spots, where are the challenges in this riff. And that's to some degree what I now make sure of, that none of these trouble spots escape my awareness. And lo and behold, there is one that had all the way through the session. Obviously I didn't really focus on the first half apart from the nano practice, and still that one was the biggest trouble spot right now when I went to my end speed. And that is probably a combination of yesterday changing the fingering from to, actually you can't see that with that sponsor there. I started out yesterday with and now I'm playing, but today I only noticed that I kind of jump in between thumb and finger. So yeah, I had to do all of that, and that's how we do in the next session. Talk to you soon. Reach out to me if you have any questions about this stuff. I love talking about it. Can't get enough of it. Talk to you soon. Love and bass.